Hey guys, welcome back to another guide video. Today's video we're going to be talking about Firebird and giving an overview of how to use Firebird, what are the best arguments to use for Firebird, also the minimum, maximum damage, and the cost to upgrade, and the best rooms and hulls that you could possibly use. Now, huge disclaimer, this stuff is still subject to change since meta shifts happen pretty often in Tanki Online, so take all of this information with a grain of salt. Let's talk about Firebird damage. The minimum effective range is 0 meters, since it's a close range weapon. Maximum effective range is around 25 meters. At minimum range, which is basically close contact, burn damage does about 750 to 790 damage per second. This also includes the flame damage plus the additional burning effect over time. At maximum range around 25 meters, the damage significantly drops to because the flame's dispersal. The damage can be as low as 150 to 200 damage per second because the flames are less concentrated. Currently, the damage drops from 100% to 25% very quickly on Firebird and Freeze. Between 15 to 25 meters, it is dealing consistent 25% direct damage. The heating rate, how fast enemy accumulate heat, is increased by 50% when the boosted damage supply is activated. Cost upgrade. Upgrading from MK0 to MK7 level 20 costs a total of 397,000 crystals and 33 rubies. It costs an additional 456,000 to go from MK7 level 0 to MK7 level 20. So in total, the cost is 853,000 crystals and 33 rubies. At 30% discount, 397,000 times 0.7 is a total of 497,100 crystals, and at 50% it is 397,000 times 0.5, which equals roughly around 426,000 crystals. Let's talk about drones. The best drones to be using with Firebird is Defender, Hyperion, and Booster. Now, the only reason I've added Defender in as well is because Firebird's regular damage overall is pretty decent, so I think having more armor is good for survivability. Let's talk arguments. The best pay-to-win arguments are Critical Mix and Pulsar. Critical Mix has a damage increase of 50%, a max crit hit chance by 400%, and a starting critical hit chance of 400%. Pulsar, on the other hand, has the ability to inflict Jammer, EMP, Stun, and AP, but the disadvantages are that the critical chance has been decreased by 25%, and the critical damage is decreased by 90%. For Magnetic and Toxic Mix, the critical hit activates EMP, or in case for Toxic, AP, but the critical damage is decreased by 50% and the heating rate is also decreased by 70%. As of 2024, the two best free-to-play arguments are Adrenaline and Incendiary Mix. For Adrenaline, the regular damage and critical damage is increased by 26%, but the main disadvantage is that it's mostly HP based. If you're lower HP, you do 26% more damage. If you're max HP, it's not going to be as effective. For Incendiary Mix, the advantages are that you have 20% more damage and 20% more critical damage, but the main thing is that you can no longer burn the enemies. And to be honest, as a free-to-play argument, these two are the best options that you have out there. The other options that you have are High Pressure Pump, Compact Fuel, and those two arguments aren't exactly the best option, but if you have no other choice, I would go with High Compact Fuel. Best hulls for Firebird. In my opinion, the best hulls for Firebird would be Hunter, Palacringe, Viking, and Wasp. Firebird needs somewhat faster hulls because it's a close range weapon, and if you were to use a hull like Mammoth, Titan, or Ares, they don't end up working because they're way too slow and you will be most likely shot down by the enemy. Hulls I would typically not use are Hopper, Crusader, and Hornet, mainly because they don't exactly synergize well with the weapon. Crusader OD would instantly self-destruct, so it would make it completely useless. Hopper overall is pretty weak, and Hornet at its current state is too weak unless you have Defender or Crisis with it. And that concludes my guide to Firebird. If you have any comments, do post them down below. I do read all of them. Thank you guys so much for the support lately. I'll see you guys all in another video. Peace out.